Now, here's your Storm Tracker weather forecast with Chief Forecaster Bob McGuire.
Well, he's not here yet, but his name is Friday, and he wears a badge. No, we're talking about tomorrow. Tomorrow's being almost Friday. I tell you what, it's pretty cool. Take a look at this. I like this shot tonight. This comes to us from Brian Davis. This was last night's thunderstorms as they were kind of moving away from Billings, north of Billings. But you see this? To me, this kind of looks like a face to me. Do you think that looks pretty cool? I think it kind of looks like maybe a Mount Rushmore face. And to me, that kind of looks like Jack Kennedy. Doesn't it? How about you? But anyway, here's another shot we like. It's from Loretta Hurley. Look at the crazy mountains as the sun was setting behind them tonight. And one other shot. This is over by Wyoming. This is the Beartooth Mountains, and you can see the sun setting behind them. Picture comes to us from Lynn Richardson. Meanwhile, here's the way things are shaping up in Billings right now. Currently 60 degrees out there with a west wind at about 13 miles per hour. Now, our high temp today actually topped out at 70, which is 1 degree warmer than our normal high. The record was 91 back in 1980. Record low was 31 back in 1963. And when it comes to precipitation, well, nothing new to add to the total, so we're a little bit behind normal for the month and still a little bit behind normal for the year. We need to be around 5 inches. We're just barely past 2 2/3. So, meanwhile, let's move on and show you how we're doing around the rest of the state. Current temps into the 40s and 50s out in the west. A lot of 40s up here across the High Line until you get to Glasgow into the 50s. Miles City still pretty nice at 63 right now, 60 in Billings. But Miles City being 63, this makes sense because, look, they had a pretty nice day. They got up to 72 degrees. Jordan was the hot spot at 82 today. It was 81 over Williston. Most of eastern Montana still a pretty hot day out there. And back in the west, well, we had temps mostly into the 50s and 60s out there. As we move on tonight, here's the story. Look at this. Winter weather advisory. We're talking to Madison and Gallatin counties up in the Gallatin Mountains. We're looking maybe snow 1 to 2 to 5 inches above the 6,500 foot level. So over in the southwest corner of the state, they're still getting some pretty good snow up in those areas. Meanwhile, back here in Montana, the rest of the state, you can see basically it's a low pressure cell up in Canada that's drawing all the moisture across Montana. It's wrapping it up into Canada and then wrapping around on there. So we even have another little batch of moisture here from Missoula, some snow at that area. Continues to push its up through Great Falls, and eventually this will wrap up in towards that low pressure cell as well. And so what's happening, you see this low cold front moving in. That's going to be moving in tomorrow, pushes past the Billings area. Low pressure cell still up there, but what's going to happen down here in the Great Basin area by Friday night, another batch of moisture starts moving in, and then that moves on. And then by Saturday morning, another batch of moisture moves in. We'll see the moisture off and on throughout much of the day on Saturday, and then eventually it just kind of moves out of the area. But here's how much rain it looks like we could get by the end of the weekend. Almost 3,900 for the Billings area, 152 over in Livingston, maybe a half an inch over in Miles City. So if that stuff does come in from the southwest, a lot of places could get a good drink of water out of this stuff this weekend. In the meantime, our temps tonight will cool back down to the 30s and 40s out in the west. Back here mostly into the 40s with partly cloudy skies. Maybe some spotty rain showers still possible tonight in the Billings area, but it's very slight chance. In fact, it's only like a 20% chance. Then for tomorrow, we get back up into the 60s, 70s, maybe even 59 over at Livingston. Billings high tomorrow will be 67 degrees, but look at all these 70s back here. Mostly sunny skies. So I think if we're going to see any showers, it's going to be moving in late in the day on Friday in the Billings area, probably around 6 or maybe 7 o'clock. But tonight, just a 20% chance of rain. We cool down to 46 degrees under a partly cloudy sky. Then for tomorrow, back up to 67 degrees. Here's your 40% chance for rain late in the day. Saturday, kind of rainy off and on throughout much of the day. High of 52, the low that night 42. Sunday, back to 64 with a 30% chance for showers. But then on Memorial Day, the sun comes back out, 73, back up to 80 on Tuesday, upper 70s on Wednesday, and 71 on Thursday, all with a slight chance for rain all of those days. Let's go back to Russ.